Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the podcast. Today, I have the good fortune to be interviewing Chris Mullins, author of Law Firm Conversions. Chris is a sales and marketing expert and the founder of the Intake Academy. More than 25 years, Chris, along with her team, have helped hundreds of law firms around the country convert more prospects into profitable clients. Chris, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me, Seth. I appreciate it.
You've been doing this a long time. How did you get started?
I actually started in the newspaper business. I was a receptionist in the newspaper business and worked into outside sales and inside sales and got really good. And a lot of different newspaper associations tracked me down for speaking and writing. And then I said, well, I'm going to go start my own business. And I started to teach sales training. And then I got into auditing and critiquing prospective client call recordings at businesses. It moved into law firms as a niche. And we do that, and then we have customized sales training programs to help improve conversion.
Okay, so how did you come to focus on law firms as the niche you would spend most of your time serving?
So initially, it started with newspapers, and then with the internet, it was really butcher, baker, candlestick maker, any kind of business that needed to convert leads. And then I went to a couple of conferences, some marketing conferences, and I joined some mastermind meetings. And I don't know, did like half a dozen of those over my, course of my career. And in the mastermind meetings, there were more lawyers than dentists or other businesses. And, I just gave my pitch, they heard it. And law firms or any business that spends money on marketing and entrepreneurial, they want my service. And I just stayed with law firms because I did so well.
What do you think are some of the biggest mistakes law firms are making when it comes to using the telephone?
Law firms and basically every business out there is they're not inspecting what they expect. They spend huge sums of money on marketing to get leads to opt in, and that's it. They don't inspect it. They don't train the team. They don't listen to call recordings to see how everybody's doing. So they're missing the most important part of the marketing campaign.
Absolutely. Why do you think so many business owners and law firms have forgotten the telephone as a conversion tool?
Yeah, still today and forever, they just never really viewed the phone as an important tool. They actually look at the phone as that's the receptionist's job. They haven't gotten out of that. They look at the phone and receptionist jobs as the stepchild of all businesses, customer service, inside sales, call centers. It doesn't really matter. Anything that deals with the phone, and they just never embraced it. Outside sales, nose to nose and toe to toe was much more sexy. And that's what they were attracted to. And still today, they don't pay attention. They think of it as, like I said, the receptionist.
Why is that a huge mistake? Why can't the receptionist just handle it all?
Well, the receptionist is basically just what the title says. Their job is to greet the prospective client or the client and get them safely and quickly to the next person, to wherever they need to get to as fast as they possibly can. That's it. They're the hostess, you know, that's what they do. They're not supposed to be doing anything else. And if you try to get them to do anything else because you don't want to spend the money, time, energy, and effort on getting the right people, you're losing a lot of money. You're losing a lot of leads, and you burn out the receptionist and they just want to quit.
You mean they didn't apply for a receptionist job secretly thinking they were going to be in phone sales?
They didn't. And if you ever say the S word, sales or script, believe me, you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I had that. We had a orthodontic practice as one of our clients. And after 30 days, they said, oh, this isn't working. And I said, well, Google said, you know, we're running the campaigns and we're generating leads. Well, they're not converting into patients. Well, who's talking to them? Well, that's the receptionist who answers the phone. Does she ever get too busy, or does she always answer the phone? No, she gets too busy. And is she following the script? No. Is she calling people back if they leave messages? Well, when she has time, she makes the calls back. Does she have time every day? Well, no, sometimes she batches them together and waits till Friday afternoon to call them back, and they called on a Monday. I said, geez, we wonder why the leads aren't converting. So what are some of the steps you teach to convert an initial call to turn into an actual real prospect?
Well, I mean, you have to have a script. I mean, you don't want your team to sound scripted, not at all. And it's really an art. They can very easily learn to not sound scripted. It's really easy to do, but you still need to use a blueprint. So that's like the first step. And then the very beginning is to have an incredible greeting and to look at your business, whether it's dental practices or law firms, or it doesn't really matter, as more like the Ritz-Carlton in the Four Seasons. You're not a medical business. You're not a legal business. You're in the relationship business. And that's really all you need to remember. And so when you have that mindset, and then when you have the mindset of, I'm spending all of this money on marketing, and you want to embrace that, and you don't want to have, you know, hemorrhaging in your business, then you'll do much better. So I think it's really the mindset, and then the initial greeting, and teaching your team that it's okay to be assertive with prospects and get them to the next step, because that's why they called you.
Absolutely. You mentioned mindset more than once. What role does that play in terms of training your clients on phone technique?
It's a huge role. The prospective clients that I work with that become clients, I usually deal with the CEO, the managing partners, the top level owners initially in the relationship, and many times throughout the relationship. And they really just want to get it done. They don't want to talk about all the details and all the challenges they're having with their team, but they have to, because if they just listen to me and they just have me coaching and auditing calls and reviewing calls and telling them what to do, they're not going to do it if they don't buy into things have got to change. We can't just have Chris inspecting. We got to actually execute the training when she's done doing her training. So mindset is huge. If they keep the same mindset with just go fix it, but they're not going to do anything each day at the office, nothing will change. Nothing will get better. And they're really wasting their money and time having me work with them.
You are the author of Law Firm Conversions. What inspired you to write it?
Well, there's really not very many books out there that deal with intake conversion specifically, and they're really not there for the legal industry. Even the same in the dental industry. So I knew that was the best way to reach people as a marketing tool. Write the book, teach everybody what they need to do, let them give it to their team, and that will help with them understanding what we do exactly.
What you've now, over the last 25 years, audited, listened to probably millions and millions of calls. What are some of the most shocking things you've experienced?
Well, I've actually heard myself personally, team members say, we're really busy here, but you can call the law firm down the street. They're not so busy. I'll give you their phone number.
That wouldn't have been one I would have guessed, where they literally were turning business away.
Yeah, I mean, I've even heard things where like I was just on lunch, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm really frustrated, but I just haven't really gotten my head together yet. You got to give me a couple of minutes. Let me put you on hold.
Wow. So how do you get, so if Bertha, the receptionist, shouldn't be the one answering the phone, in terms of the leads coming in,
Yeah,
who should be?
salespeople. I mean, you got to just bottom line, accept it and embrace it and do your due diligence and hire salespeople and tell the truth. Tell them what the job is, what the career is, what they're going to be doing. Use the S word sales and the S word script. Write your advertising and help wanted ads specifically for what you're looking for. Don't kind of try to be politically correct. Just tell them like it is. Train them as salespeople, monitor calls, treat them like salespeople, have metrics, all the whole thing. You got to have salespeople and your own salespeople.
You have achieved amazing results for your clients over the decades. Talk a little bit about what a before and after looks like. What's the magical transformation? Tell us a little bit about, obviously, if your client names are confidential, that's fine. It could be the ABC law firm, but what were they struggling with? What was their challenge when they hired you? And then kind of how you worked with them and what their success looks like now.
Well, initially it would be what I would experience when we actually monitor calls and listen to them is whomever the team member is, regardless of their title and also even the industry, law firms and any kind of business, they don't convert. They don't ask for the sale. They think that they're actually like a receptionist, that they're just supposed to answer questions, question, answer, and that's it. And they forget to be assertive, ask for the sale, which is what they're supposed to be doing to begin with. So they completely forget it. They sound like license and registration, totally scripted, totally robotic. There's no empathy. There's no love, care, and concern. There's no intimacy in the conversation or emotional relationship building whatsoever. No one ever asks, what is it that got you to give us a call today about X? And then zip it up and wait to see what they say. So none of that's going on. But when they actually do our program and they embrace the fact that things have to change and there's no silver bullet, you got to do your work. You can get your team, if they're the right team members now. So we can't change team members that are not the right team members to begin with. And so maybe team members that you have that you already know that you should have made some decisions, put them in the right job, or let them move into a different career. And if you didn't do that, you can't really change them if you're not giving them the right services and help. So that's one thing. But the folks that are able to be changed and have the right mindset, you can get them to move to suddenly just converting in assumptive language and sales language and everything that I just said that they're not doing, and enjoy doing it and feel good about it after the initial shock to them of using scripts and not sounding scripted. And you can improve your conversion just by, inspecting what you expect and, what you focus on expands what message gets done. So the more you do that, you can improve your conversion minimum like 30%, 40% without even being aggressive, just doing what you've never, ever done before.
That is absolutely fantastic. You've been doing this a long time. What's your biggest challenge now?
My biggest challenge is working with law firms to help them not just embrace the art of the sales process and converting, but also expanding to the next level of self-care for their team. So their team, they're dealing with all kinds of terrible phone calls every day, all day long. And even people that aren't dealing with traumatic phone calls, they have to deal with being on the phone every day, all day long, phones ringing off the hook. And that's emotionally draining. So regardless of the business, you have to have self-care culture for your team to help them get through it and learn how to maintain the right mindset and take care of themselves at the same time from one phone call to the next. And if you don't do that, you have burnout, you have high insurance, nothing is going to be positive for you at your business. So taking care of your team, not just your external clients, take care of your internal customers.
Absolutely. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I love being a teacher. At the end of the day, I'm a teacher. And, when the student is ready, the teacher will come, and I get goosebumps still when even if my student is an attorney or a managing partner or the frontline sales team, when they get it, even if it's not 100% and they're on their way to 100%, but they keep improving, I love it. Awesome. It feels great.
All right. Well, we really appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. For our folks who are watching or listening, where is the best place for them to go learn about more about you and get a copy of the book?
So to get a copy of the book, and you can download it for free, just go to intakeacademy.com. That's where you get the book. You can opt in there to get some of our other material that we send out, and you can contact me at the phone number there directly. And we could talk, and I could answer some questions for you.
All right. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Chris Mullins of Law Firm Conversions and the Intake Academy. Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Seth. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.